Hello, and welcome to a new series we're starting called Menu Heroes Digest. I'm your host, Steven, and my co host is right here.
Hello, everyone. It is me, Jordan. Hope you don't hate me.
He is a longtime fan of the channel and a longer time friend of us. And so we both wanted to do like a podcast style show, and we both love gaming, so
Mm-hmm.
we're going to talk about some Nintendo stuff, a lot of Nintendo stuff,
Oh, yes.
and then some Sega.
Yeah.
So,
Sega.
Sega. So let's go ahead and get started with Super Smash Brothers.
All right.
So they announced the next to last DLC character,
Mm-hmm.
which is Kazuya
Kazuya.
Kazuya from Tekken, which is a fighting game itself.
Oh, yeah.
So it's kind of fitting that his rep has made their way into Smash Brothers.
Yeah, and I've seen mostly positive responses from this. Though there seems to be some kind of pushback from some people being like, "He's already a fighting character. Why you put him in this fighting game? Like what?"
Ryu and Ken are in it, so
Yeah.
that doesn't make a lot of sense. I think people are upset because like their dreamies aren't making it, like Sora
Yeah.
from Kingdom Hearts, or
Yeah, I know it's
Gino from Super Mario RPG.
guys.
it's never gonna happen.
Guys, I know you want to dream. I know you want to have hope, but it ain't happening. Also, like, okay, I was expecting a Mortal Kombat character. I thought, hey, a movie just came out this year. The sales for last game were pretty good. They have done characters from M-rated games before, like, Metal Gear Solid and Persona. So I thought they could find a way to put some, like, Scorpion or Sub-Zero in the game. But again, I try not to put too much of my faith or my hope into one thing because, I have better things to do with my life, and B, it's like sometimes Nintendo will give us a good surprise. I was certainly surprised. We'll get more later, but Nintendo is good at surprises, good at delivering on things we didn't know we want, but now we do.
Yep. Sometimes they don't hit the mark, but honestly, those times are not as often as they do.
Yeah.
I usually can count on Nintendo for some, at least some tidbit of something I want.
Yeah.
Um,
Nintendo is very much the Disney of games. It's like there are some things that don't deliver, some things you don't want, but they do deliver like 8 out of 10 things you do really want, and at least offer mostly at least quality. At least
it's kind of like Pixar. Even when the movies
Okay.
aren't good, they're still,
okay.
they're
That's
okay.
that is a better option. That's a better.
Well, it's still Disney, so
Yeah.
your analogy still stands.
Yeah.
And reading the comments here on this website, because I'm reading off of Nintendo Life,
Yeah.
and I'll put links to the articles we found in the description. Apparently, Tekken is not available on the Switch.
Well, yes.
There's Pokken, which is Pokemon Tekken, but
yeah.
apparently regular Tekken is not on there.
Yeah, but also neither is Persona 5.
That's true.
There is some Persona spin-off games, but the actual Persona 5 is not available.
That's
And
a good point.
correct me if I'm wrong, Final Fantasy 7 isn't, or the remakes aren't.
The remakes aren't, but the original game is.
Okay, all right. But I'm saying like Nintendo has put characters in Smash that aren't available on a Nintendo console.
Yeah, or at least modern ones, because, like Banjo-Kazooie's not available on the Switch.
I was really hoping it would when it was announced he was in Smash. I thought, okay, this means we're getting remasters of Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie, right? Right? No,
Nope.
didn't.
So, speaking of Smash Brothers, I'm going to segue into a subsection of this.
My main is Green DK.
Green DK. My
Yes.
main is Princess Peach. So, they also added more costumes, and I originally scoffed at the idea of purchable costumes, because, I don't like microtransactions. But I caved and I've bought quite a few costumes, like the Sans costume.
As I was saying, it was Sans, right?
Yeah. So they added some new Mii Fighter costumes.
All right.
They added Lloyd, which I'm gonna be honest.
Lloyd in space? What? I thought I was the only one who knew about that cartoon.
I honestly don't know where Lloyd comes from. Forgive me.
I mean, there's probably a lot of Lloyds out there. I'm coming to a blank. It's not from the Professor Layton or Lawton games, right?
No.
Okay.
What just happened? Anyway, we've got Lloyd. We've got Dragonborn, sword fighter from Skyrim. Shantae, which is a brawler, and it comes with one of the tracks from that series.
Yeah.
And it also features Dante from, Devil May Cry.
You see, guys, he's in the game.
Yeah.
He's in the game.
Some people
Technically.
Some people were upset that he was just a costume, but the fact that Nintendo made this tweet and memed about it, referencing the featuring the little sticker that says featuring Dante.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty great.
Yeah, their marketing or their Twitter campaign is one of the best. Up there with Wendy's.
So let's talk about E3, because isn't that where we heard about Smash Brothers?
Smash Brothers, yes, but like the different like skins or costumes are from
those were recent.
Yeah. And funny enough, I did not see the recent of where Sakurai demonstrated the Kazuya moves and that's where the Mii costumes came. So when I first heard Dragonborn, my brain immediately went to Bloodborne, and I thought, oh wow, like that got me excited, because I do love that game. I'm not the biggest Demon Soul or Dark Souls fan, but I think Bloodborne was the best of those games, and I would have been cool to buy that skin. But
I think it's an understandable association to make.
Yeah, I think that's like, it's kind of again microtransactions and like gotcha games, all making you or tempting you to buy skins and things you don't really need, but it's like you kind of really want it.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
But yeah, E3. We're not going to talk about the whole of E3 here because that's just too much.
We didn't start this podcast quick enough.
Yeah, that too. But a couple highlights. Advanced Wars was something I wasn't expecting to see.
Yeah,
I've never played it, but I know a lot of people who like it.
I think I played it once when it was a demo at Walmart, because Walmart used to have demos for the games and everything, and I would spend several obviously my parents would go and do the shopping, what adults do, and I would be at the game section trying out the demos for all the games, and I'm sure I played a bit of Advanced War. Had a lot of, I remember it being fun.
And let's see, Skyward Sword was brought up again because they're remaking it or porting it. It's an HD remaster. Xander's looking forward to that. I've played it a lot before, but I might get it again so we can do a video on it or something.
Yeah. Okay. Even though I'm wearing a Zelda shirt, I love the Legend of Zelda franchise. That's one of the few of the games I did avoid because there was a lot of negative reviews at the time. And even now, there is certainly a divide in the Zelda fandom of whether Skyward Sword good actually or Skyward Sword bad actually. So I'm going to be an Neutronian and say I have no strong feeling one way or the other. Oh, sorry.
It's okay. I will say that story-wise and cinematically, it is one of the best Zelda games. It's got a solid story, and it's, like I said, it's very cinematic. It's very nice to look at, but it is an extremely linear game due to its, focused story.
So I'm guessing Aaron Hansen from Game Grumps hates it.
I don't know. I don't really keep up with Game Grumps because they always end up having issues, like with John and then Danny turning out, And that's all I'm going to say on that.
No,
family friendly.
Yeah, of course. Only reason why I brought that up was I used to watch Game Grumps all the time.
I did
haven't anymore. But the Legend of Zelda playthroughs were the things I had to watch every day. I had to keep up with those playthroughs. And he had strong opinions on the Zelda franchise. Some I agreed with, some I felt were a bit, a little childish or a bit nitpicky, so.
Game Grumps is actually what made me want to start Let's Plays.
I mean, yeah, and I've always thought, like, again, if I were to ever do a Let's Play, or if I were ever to do any gaming thing, I would do it with somebody else. Because, like, the people who do solos, like Markiplier or Jacksepticeye, they're really good. And they're good at, like, keeping you entertained and focused on them while also the game. Yeah. And I know I can't do that. I know. I
don't have that personality.
I need someone to bounce off of.
Exactly. That's why Xander and I do it. Yeah. And that's why we try to get some of our friends to be in our videos. Yeah. We were hoping we could get you in this week, but it just didn't really work out. But that's fine. Yeah. We always have the future.
Oh, yeah.
So, another game we're excited for, Metroid Dread.
Yes! Sorry.
It's the first original 2D Metroid game since 2002.
I remember.
It's almost 20 years.
I remember playing a lot of Metroid Fusion. I remember just, like, loving the whole Metroid franchise. Like, even though I was too young to play the original 3 Metroid games, I would, like, catch it here and there, or like at least my older brothers had the Metroid games along with the other Super Nintendo stuff. I played a lot of that, loved it, and I think there was like a Game Boy game around the time for Metroid. I used to play a lot of.
There was a Zero Mission, which was a remake of the original.
Okay, yeah, that was probably it. And loving like the Metroid Prime games, played them a lot, and it's just kept waiting and waiting for more Metroid. And they got that one from Team Ninja that nobody really likes.
Was that the Prime Hunters or something?
It was like
Federation Force.
Yes, basically it was the one. They tried giving Samus a love interest.
Oh,
and
Other M.
Nobody liked him.
It was a 3D game.
Yes, it was a 3D game.
Yeah, I think it was Metroid Other M.
Yes, and I won't say what the M stands for because this is more of a family podcast, but
mediocre.
Yeah, okay, we'll do this. Other mediocre. Yeah. Yeah, that was a big disappointment from a company that had delivered some good stuff. Team Ninja delivered some good stuff, and
it happens sometimes, man.
It is, but it's sad that was the last Metroid game for a long time.
Yeah.
So you can imagine me and like the last remaining Metroid fans super happy to see them give Samus some more love
and return to their roots.
Yeah.
It's interesting that it's after Metroid Fusion. I just think it's interesting that Metroid actually has a cohesive timeline.
Yeah.
I never really thought of it before. What's also interesting is this game started out as a DS game.
Yeah, like, I remember hearing rumors of Metroid Dread.
Yeah.
Back when I was in middle school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a real long time ago.
But it was canceled because, the DS wasn't powerful enough to run something as ambitious as what they're doing.
Yeah, and...
Well, ambitious for the time. Nowadays, it's, it's still super cool, but it's not something that hasn't been done before. Like, stalking enemies.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 2 and 3.
That's kind of sad. Like, yeah, maybe they could have tried this game out for like one of the consoles like GameCube or Wii, but ultimately, I think because it's a 2D platformer, some people would have been like, what,
they'd be like, hey, I could have played this on my older
console. Exactly. This could have been on DS, which is why I think they were trying really hard to get on DS, and that's why they pushed it for so long.
But no, it's nice that they've come and they've returned to it.
I think
it's good for them because it means they're going to get money from you when you buy a Switch and a Metroid Dread.
Yes.
Which I suggest getting Metroid Dread when you get a Switch.
Yeah.
Get it from Walmart.
Okay.
Because you can get it from GameStop, but you're paying $60.
Yeah.
At Walmart, the way they sell the Switch games, they sell them a little bit at a loss. They're $50, so it's $10 you save, but it's $10 you could spend on something else. And I don't advocate for Walmart because Walmart's a corporation, and I'm not huge on corporations. I understand the need
Treat your
for
workers
them.
fairly, Walmart.
Yeah, I understand the need for the stores, and I will use the services, but it does not mean that I approve of what higher ups do.
Yeah.
And it's not one of those things where I can just boycott Walmart because I live in the middle of nowhere and Walmart is like the only thing there.
That's how they get you.
That is how they get you.
Oh, you try and boycott us when we're the only place you can get all these nice stuff.
That's how. A lot of the time they'll go and they'll undercut like local competitors by.
That's how they've always done it. Though.
Exactly, and it's scummy, but it's the reality of. Commerce.
South Park tried to warn us, and we didn't listen. South Park tried to warn us, man.
All right, so since we're already on the topic of politics and personal views, I got this like in my news feed the other day.
Yeah.
There was a child who sent a letter to Pokemon, to Nintendo. Asking for non-binary Pokemon, which is really cute, and like, it's nice to see kids like this.
Yeah,
kids are one of the most accepting groups of people in the world, and I hate that like society will tear them down, and
we were like, okay, this was like before we started the podcast. It was like our other friend Gavin. We were all talking about like. This football match in Britain, how a group of grown adults were mocking and humiliating a German girl rooting for her team.
I don't know if she was German, but it doesn't matter. She was still 10 years old, and her team lost, and she got upset about it. She got emotional about it. And these British people on Twitter were making fun of her, and it was like, you guys are grown men and you're picking on a little girl. And I mean, like, it's not even like she overreacted because there's grown men who will cry if their football team loses.
We saw a bunch of grown people crying at last November for reasons.
Yes. But anyway, this kid sent a letter to Nintendo asking for non-binary Pokemon. And here is the response. In your letter, you asked us to make non-binary Pokemon. I think that is an awesome idea. There are so many varieties of Pokemon, so it makes sense to have a variety of genders as well. We want to make sure people of all kinds feel welcomed and comfortable while playing our software. I'll send your feedback to the appropriate departments to review and thoughtfully consider. Thanks again for sending us this letter, and I've included a few special items with this response for you to enjoy. And they sent them to promotional items. We don't, I don't think we know what the promotional items are. But what is this? Oh my god.
I mean, I was gonna say some, but
and
Dear Nintendo, could please make non-binary Pokemon. Also, I want that because I think it would be cool, and so non-binary people would feel more comfortable about it. Love.
And then it redacts their name.
We can't say the name yet.
Oh, I never read the letter the kid wrote. I'm gonna cry.
I got a bit emotional too, because people are more accepting of bisexual, gays and bisexuals and pansexuals. I remember as a kid, not only was gay still used as a joke or as a slur,
derogatory.
As derogatory, yeah. And bisexuals, that was, most people didn't even believe that even existed. I think only one movie even said the word bisexual when I grew up, and that was Dodgeball. And that's at the very end, and it was oh yeah, this female character, she has a girlfriend, but she's okay with kissing with Vince Vaughn. It's it wasn't. We have come a long way. We got a long way to go. We still got a long way to go, but it's
the trajectory we're on, though.
Yes, and thankfully there's been a lot of positive responses from this kid writing to Nintendo.
Yeah.
There will be jerks that will have their
trolling.
Yeah.
They're this isn't real, stuff like that. But who cares if it's real? It feels good. And some people are like, well, there's no need for a non-binary because there's genderless Pokemon. But as this article rightfully points out, genderless is not the same as non-binary.
Yeah.
Because non-binary, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's neither male or female. It could be like, oh god, I lost my train of thought. How about you continue?
I mean,
you're more well versed in this.
I am, but also what is an area that I can't claim as an expert because I am cisgendered male. But in terms of like,
here we go.
Yes, in terms of like, there is like, non-binary could mean multiple genders, could be gender fluid. Like someone could like, end up being like male, female, not not genderless.
Some days they're like, oh, I feel like a male today, and then some days they feel like a female, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
And then, they could also just be genderless. They don't believe they don't accept the idea of gender constructs. That gets a little too deep for me to comment on, because I'm a cis male as well.
Yeah.
But I have my family and friend group is predominantly LGBT, and it is an issue I care deeply about.
Same here, man. Or I just wish like everyone can be who they were, and not be harassed or treated unfairly just by who they are.
All right. So after that deepness, I think we need a little, not palate cleanser, but a little lightheartedness.
We just we need our Herlock Sholmes. We need Herlock Sholmes and his sexy eyes to take us away.
I can't believe you said that on this channel. His sexy eyes, Jordan.
Come on. Look at those. Those eyes are staring right at me. And they're like, oh yeah.
No, you stop. This is a family-friendly channel.
I wasn't gonna say anything. I wasn't gonna say anything dirty. I was gonna say.
But there's your bisexualness.
Come, fly with me, Kochika, or Kochiko, or whatever.
And in case you haven't picked up on it yet, we're talking about the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Now, these games released, I want to say 6 years ago.
I believe so.
About right. 6, 7. For the 3DS, and they were Japanese only. Sorry, yes. I keep interrupting you.
No, it's just I'll say like obviously I love the original 3 Phoenix Wright games. Played a bit of the Miles Edgeworth stuff. But it's like Apologist I don't know a whole lot about. Like I've been trying to look up more stuff of Great Ace Attorney. Because, I love visual novels. I love murder mysteries.
Yeah.
It's like me and my friend Amy will talk nonstop about Danganronpa all day long. And I'm sure that's something you know nothing about, right?
I've heard of it.
Yeah.
I did buy the Famicom Detective Club games. Because they finally released it.
I want so badly to play them. I will definitely get that when I get a Switch.
Yeah. And
I love Nintendo, but I'm late to the party in terms of getting a Switch.
Hey, it happens.
Yeah.
And I too love the Ace Attorney games. They're always fun.
Oh yes.
Even when the cases are convoluted and don't make too much sense, they're still fun to play.
What? A convoluted trial?
What?
That is news to me, Steven. What could you possibly mean? What trial could possibly overcomplicate and take several days to even figure out what could what the outcome could be, It's
like we're talking about real life. But anyway, sorry to cut you off there.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
One of the reasons this game took so long to get out to the West is because translating Japanese to English isn't always the easiest thing. Translating any language to another language isn't always the easy, because there's nuances, there's wordplay.
Yeah.
Some concepts we Westerners, is that okay to say?
Yeah, what,
We Americans,
yeah,
there we go.
Yeah.
Wouldn't understand at all.
Yeah.
Because unlike the current or the modern age Ace Attorney, where they can just say, "Oh, haha, this is L.A.," even though it's clearly Japan.
Yeah.
These are obviously set in Japan and
Absolutely
Britain in
Japanese,
the
yeah.
like 19th century.
Yeah, it has that feel. Like you're having a Schmorlock Schmomes ripoff in your game. I'm guessing it's meant to be more of the early 1900s.
Yeah, so like 18th century. No, 20th century.
Yes. Okay.
Sorry, the centuries get me tripped up. The only reason they did Sherlock or Herlock Sholmes
Yes.
is because while the majority of Sherlock Holmes is in the public domain, there was a tiny bit that Conan Arthur Doyle wrote that isn't in the public domain. And I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this Sherlock takes some traits that were added to that one. And so they can't just use his regular
I had a
name.
feeling with some kind of weird legal thing. It's like, it is sort of like whatever family owns the Conan Barbarian stuff. Those books are public domain, but that family has final approval of like who can adapt what.
Yeah, that happens with the Sherlock Holmes.
I figured it was something like that.
Because in Japan, he's actually just called Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
But I digress. I'm excited for it. It comes out July 27th. And, Ace Attorney is just fun. It's fun.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
I love, when I was in high school, I would play the Ace Attorney online games where people made fan trials. And for the longest time, I tried to make my own fan trial. I just, never finished it. And we get to the, another Japanese
All aboard
import.
Nintendo train. Choo-choo.
So, I am a sucker for accessories that are needless. I won't call them needless. But, shut up, Jordan. Like, I love racing wheels. I think they're so neat.
Would have helped me in the Mario Kart game if I could actually turn the dang
If
thing.
you could actually see the screen, that would have helped.
Yeah.
But controllers like that, I think, are super neat.
Yep.
And if I find them in stores or like pawn shops, stuff like that, I'll try and pick them up. And so there's tons of car simulators, flight simulators, and there are train simulators.
Right. And
there's also bus simulators, but who cares? Same thing as a car.
Unless it's a speed video game movie, I'm not bothering.
Unless it's the Desert Bus game. So this thing is, and I guess you'll just have to check the description. But basically, it's a train controller that's being imported to America. There's not much to say about it. It's just, I think it's cool, and I thought it should be mentioned. It's going to be about $135, so it's not something I'll buy because I don't play train simulators. But
my first reaction toward this was, who would possibly get a controller just for train simulating? And I'm looking here on Google, all the various like World of Simulators, Train Simulator, Train Sim World 2, let's see here, Colt Express, this is an old-timey one,
and this?
Railway Empire.
This is nothing compared
Vintage
to those.
steam trains.
There
Train
are
Simulator 12.
Those controllers for like train and flight simulators, they can get super complex, and I think it's really cool. Honestly, I want to try playing one at some point with the actual controls.
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there. And while we're on the topic of accessories, boom. I say boom, but you can't see my screen change. Sega has announced a new Genesis Mini accessory for Japan.
Only for Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Genesis Mini is a small plug-and-play version of the Genesis Sega. That was released in 2019.
Yeah.
And it came with an accessory called Tower Mini. Well, you could get an accessory called the Tower Mini. that was basically the Tower of Power.
Mm-hmm.
The what?
No, it's just like I remember there being hearing something about like a Genesis Mini way back in 2018, and I was getting kind of excited because I do like plug and play stuff. I used to play a lot of plug and plays with my cousins, mainly like the SpongeBob and some of the Marvel Hero ones, and I'm sure there was like one for Nintendo at the time too. But it's hey, it is a nice cheaper option to like pick something that like you can hook up to your TV or your computer and just play the whole library of games. But yeah, again, it's only for it's only for Japan, and I feel like that is a big mistake.
Yeah. Well, I think the accessories are only for Japan. I could be wrong though. Yeah. So the original, mini tower has a Sega CD add-on, the Sega 32X, Sonic and Knuckles, and then a Sonic the Hedgehog cartridge to go on top. And so this new accessory is a miniature version of the Power Base Converter, which made the Sega Genesis able to play Master System games.
Yeah,
obviously these obviously these aren't functional accessories, but it is what it is.
Yeah. And I'm looking up on Google on shopping. Yeah, there is no Sega Genesis Mini. There's like this mini hardware retro. Wait, is this it? Is that the Mini? I'm trying to look. He's looking on my phone right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it.
Oh, I guess it is available. Okay.
Over the years, they've made several plug-and-play Genesis consoles.
Okay.
And so the hype isn't as big as it is for like the NES Mini.
Yeah.
But it's still super cool. Especially now that I've gotten into some Sega games.
Well, when I read the article, I first was like, neither the Genesis Mini nor the Mini accessories are available in the U.S. And I'm like, do you know how many people are still obsessed over Sonic? Yeah. How many people are still obsessed over those old games like Echo the Dolphin, Altered Beast, Streets of Rage? Like, you're gonna tell me you're not gonna open up that market, but they at least I was wrong. They did open it up. There is a Genesis Mini available. It's again, like I'm glad. I am super glad. I don't know. It's like there's been so many times where Sega has burned me several times because I grew up. I was super little Sega. I got the Genesis. Genesis was my very first console. Played Sonic for all the Sonic games for hours. Played Streets of Rage for hours. Played Altered Beast for hours. I even played Columns. I played Columns like crazy because I was so pro Sega. And over the years, obviously, just how they've handled their console systems has went downhill.
We're almost done. Sorry, buddy. That was Xander walking into the room. He is waiting to have a Yu-Gi-Oh!
He wants to be in the room where it happens. The room
my
where
God. Another copyright strike.
I have a bad habit of singing.
No, it's fine. Xander and I do it too.
It's funny because you're the one that took music classes and studied music, yet I'm the one that constantly sings. Anytime a song comes.
No shame.
Good. You know what? Sega can. I'm sorry. Not Sega. I'm sorry. I meant YouTube. YouTube can come in and tell me what to do, but I'll tell them, no way, man. I'm too cool for your school. Yeah.
So, talking about being too cool for school. I'm excited about Sonic Origins. Sonic Origins is, unlike the other Sonic collections, it's not going to be an emulated port.
Yeah.
It's going to be native ports. Okay. So, like, 16:9 aspect ratio. It'll be optimized for the hardware. And it's going to have, let me scroll down to the list. Yep. Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic 2, Sonic 3, Sonic and Knuckles, and Sonic CD. And there might be more, I don't know. But I'm excited because I recently got into Sonic, and it'll be cool to own a majority of the classic games on a console instead of just, emulating it on the PC.
It would. My only hesitance is that they tried sort of doing a remake of Sonic by, like, they do it episodically. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Are you talking about Sonic the Hedgehog 4?
Well, it was sort of like it was meant to be Sonic the Hedgehog, but like they would release different chapters, and they only released 2 chapters.
Oof.
The first chapter was just a remake of Green Hill Zone, and I think the second one was one of the like temple ones, one of the temple levels. But it was meant to be sort of a 2D Sonic, but 3D, characters and models and backgrounds. And it would just like it would either remake classic levels or fans would be able to vote in what level they wanted. Again, I can't remember the name, but it was hyped for a while, and I was excited for that. And then they only did 2 levels, and they just quit the project. And obviously, I think this is gonna happen, or I think they're gonna succeed on that. Yes, Sonic the Hedgehog 4. It was that.
Yeah, it looks like they.
Yeah, and that one again, they were sort of trying to make a new game out of that, but also they mostly like remade classic Sonic levels.
Yeah, Sonic Mania feels like that at times because a lot of it is remixed levels, but there's also a lot of original levels in it.
Yeah, and I think
sorry.
No, the guys who are making the sprites for it are having a lot of fun because there's so many Eggman bosses or Eggman minions running around, flying around. They're having a lot of fun.
Oh, in Sonic Mania?
Yeah, Sonic Mania.
Yeah.
Sonic Mania, yeah.
I think it was Christian Whitehead?
Yeah.
Something like that. And I actually know one of the programmers who worked on the game.
Lucky.
Yeah, I got to meet him this summer. Or, not this summer. I got to meet him in May when I went to California. We played Smash Brothers together.
Dang.
Yeah. It was awesome. Like, the only interaction I had with him previously was on Discord, and you know how text can be. You can't always get a feel for someone.
Yeah.
But no, I think he's really nice.
Yeah. Didn't Christian Whitehead start off making fan-made Sonic games?
Yes.
Okay, I was thinking is either him or the guy who made those those funny riff parodies of Sonic comics, like original OC, don't steal. And it was like Eggman making Shadow was like original OC, don't steal.
No,
I can't remember who that guy was, but
and like my adoptive aunts, I say adoptive, not like legally adopted, but you know what I mean.
Oh yeah.
Childhood friends with I'm pretty sure Christian is one of their friends.
Oh, cool.
And it's really cool to have that lame claim to fame. Not lame, but you know what I mean. Like weak link.
It does make you wish. I've had ideas for stuff for years, ever since I was in high school or out of high school. But I was always scared, like, man, I don't want to do anything crappy because people will make fun of me or I'll end up hating in the end. But like, these guys are living the dream. They made fan-made stuff, and they ended up being.
I wouldn't say living the dream. There's a lot of drama.
Man.
They don't get paid royalties. And,
Okay. Well,
they're not. Sometimes it's hard for them to find job opportunities, and all of this is like stuff you can find on Reddit. So like, it's not like I'm spilling any inside secrets. Yeah. I didn't even talk to the guy about Sonic Mania because I didn't want to bug him about it.
Yeah.
So, our last piece of news before we let you guys go is VTubing.
Yes.
Sonic is going to be a VTuber. And in case you don't know what a VTuber is, like I didn't know, it's just like a YouTuber, but they use a virtual avatar using a program called Face Rig or something similar that it'll basically sync up their mouth movements with the virtual character.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of information known, but the fact that there's a there's a Sonic VTuber coming is.
You want to hear my thoughts?
Yes.
This feels like another attempt from Sega trying to cash in on a thing or trying to show off a new technology thing, and it has not gone very well. Like, I don't mean to keep promoting other YouTubers, but SaberSpark did a video years ago that I just recently watched called "The Fall of Sega," or "The Downfall of Sega," where like the Sega of Japan was so driven or was so egotistical about like their new system, their hardware is going to be the best thing. They were trying so hard to push Sega Saturn,
Oh, yeah.
And that
And it
that
didn't
ended up
work.
being. And the saddest part is that the CEO of Sega of America was trying to convince them, hey, we can team up with Sony. You can have the hard. We can both can create the hardware and the CD like system that can like have great sound, way better pixels than anything Nintendo's doing. We could both team up and we both win because Sony was angry at Nintendo for teaming up with Philips in the 90s. And Sega,
we saw how that turned out.
Yeah, I know. But I'm saying like that could have been the Sega and Sony could have been the crossover done right. But Sega of Japan said no. We're going to do our thing. Sega Saturn's going to be awesome, and it's going to be the next best console. And we all know how well that turned out.
Yeah.
So that's my first reaction towards this. This feels like
a cash grab.
Them thinking they can do the best thing ever, and
not.
I just and also who's gonna do the voice? Like unless they get Jaleel White or Jason Griffin to like do Let's Plays while also mocapping as Sonic, I don't think this is going to be that successful.
No, there's two voices that I think could do it. Besides those, there's Roger Craig Smith.
Oh yeah, he was like in Wreck-It Ralph. Okay, I'm looking at the different voices of
and
Sonic.
There's Ben Schwartz, which I know some people don't like as Sonic, but I liked him as Sonic.
No,
in the
I
movie.
loved his Sonic, but like he is doing other things. He's got other projects going. Like I'm sure he loves Sonic. I'm sure he loves playing games, but he's not going to want to do that every week, spend all of his free time on Sonic.
I mean, who would? Oh, did I say that? Looks like we're out of time, Menu Heroes. So I hope you enjoyed this first episode, and hopefully it's a thing we keep doing either on a weekly or bi-weekly basis, just depending on our schedules. And we might have to take a break in the future, because I will be going back to school, but we will see where it goes. Any last words, Jordan?
Pumpernickel.
You heard it here, folks.
No, seriously, though, I think this was a lot of fun. I've always considered doing something podcast related, but like a lot of my other ideas kind of went by the wayside. Remember when I tried doing a Doctor Who and anime podcast called Whoaboo?
I did not. I remember the anime
You
one.
thankfully convinced me to change the name, or just told me just leave it be.
I feel like it was someone else you talked to, but I do remember you wanting to do an anime podcast.
Yeah.
But this also probably was years ago, so.
It was.
But yeah, let's go ahead and sign off now, and we'll keep talking for the future. Okay.
Okay.
Till next time, stay cool.
Salud.